So it's our pleasure, as always, to host you as leaders as we continue to engage on issues leadership and issues personal growth. We trust that as we continue, we're getting better, we're getting more knowledge, we're getting more revelation. We are making also personal commitment in terms of how to improve where necessary. I think you remember our study method, the LACT, where L, we are looking at what is new information you are learning, and then A, what you feel should be your application area, and then LACT, and then we have the C, what you commit to change, and also what you commit to teach. So as we continue with the lessons, remember just to keep on filtering the information based on the study method LACT, so that you can be able to pick up what you need to improve on. Otherwise, I think we'll continue to engage. We'll just proceed with the session, and then once the others join on, we'll do an icebreaker. Lillian tells me there's no power on her side, so she can't be able also to put her video on. And my icebreaker required all of us to have our video on. So if the others join, then we'll see if we can be able to take that icebreaker. Otherwise, for today, we are focusing on lesson 9. Okay, so lesson 9, we're on which page? Let's just confirm. We're on page 46. We are looking at the role of leadership. The role of leadership. If you remember our objectives, one of our objectives was to appreciate the critical role of leadership. And I think as we walk through this journey of understanding what is the role of a leader, what is the role, or what are the roles of a leader? That is what we want to engage on. And just filter through as we analyze this information. Take your time just to filter, and also remember to pick out your takeaway as usual. We'll keep on engaging as we continue. So looking at our program schedule, today, 23rd February, we will try and cover 2 sessions, the role of leadership and also redefining leadership. They're quite intense, but we'll see how much we can be able to cover. And then we are projecting to finish by 30th March 21. That will be the final project presentation day. So this is the program schedule, which I'll also post on the WhatsApp and also share through the email, especially for Mr. Mwangi, so that we can track our progress. So far, we're doing quite well. We are almost in the middle of level 2. So we'll finalize level 2 next week, and then we'll get into level 3. So these are quite intense sessions. So even handling 2 sometimes become it's quite a huge chunk, because you also need to keep on interacting and engaging with you. So it's not really a one-sided training, but it's more of active training. So I'll share this so that you can be able to have a look. Now, as we look at the role of leadership, there's an author referred to as Franklin Covey. And according to him, there are 4 roles leaders play that are very predictive of success. And as leaders, consciously, we lead ourselves and our teams in alignment to these 4 roles that he was able to highlight in his write-up. And as we were doing our material or content preparation, this is one of the areas that we felt was coming out quite clear, and we've adopted these roles according to Franklin Covey. So therefore, one of the role of a leader is to create or cast a vision, or in other words, you can talk about champion the creation or vision casting, because it's not a one-man role. So you can be a champion, or you can also be a catalyst. And then the second role of a leader is to lead execution. Yeah, so execute the strategy. You've cast the vision, you execute the strategy, or lead the execution of the strategy. And then number 3, inspire trust. And then the fourth role of a leader is to coach potential. So these are 4 distinct roles of a leader, which we'll analyze briefly as we move on, starting with casting or creating a vision. Yeah, so that entails clearly defining where your organization, your team, or even an individual, your direction or where you are heading to, and how you are going to get there. So casting the vision, creating a vision, forming a vision. You need to clearly define where your organization or you as a team you're headed and how you're going to get there. And it's always good to be able to, even before you talk about vision casting, do an analysis of where you are and the need to be able to move from where you are to a new destination, to the destination that you are leading the team towards. So you do and this is why we do what we refer to as SWOT analysis. You do an analysis of the potential you have, the environment. You also look at the opportunities, and from this you're able to create, probably cast a vision or come up with a strategy, and giving an analysis of where you are, how the situation looks like, and the need to be able to move to the new destination that you've been able to identify through vision casting. So the first role of a leader, or the role of leadership, is create a vision or cast a vision, then execute strategy. As a leader, you need to consistently achieve results with and through others using some processes. So as you already, as you cast the vision, you move on to the next stage where you're able to lead in the execution of the strategy towards achieving the vision. So we'll be getting into more details on this as we move on. And then the third role is inspire trust, because this is a vision requires team, as we've been talking, as we've been discussing. It requires support. It requires stakeholders. It requires other partners to come on board to be able to help you achieve the vision. So inspire trust. Be the credible leader others choose to follow, one with both character and competence. Yeah, so inspire trust. And one way to inspire trust, we're talking about competence. Competence are also issues of clarity in terms of where am I leading the team to? What is the direction, and why are we pursuing this venture together? Why am I inviting you to be able to join me? So you inspire trust, and also through the issue of character. And then the fourth role of a leader or leadership is coach potential. Coach potential. Yeah. So you are working together with a team, and therefore you need to be able to identify the strength of each member and be able to probably position them appropriately. So when you are coaching potential, you unleash the ability of each person on your team to improve performance, solve problems, and also grow their talents, abilities, and potential. Why you're doing this is to be able to help them be able to fit in within the vision by capitalizing on their own potential or their own strength. Okay, so the roles of a leader: one is create potential or create a vision, execute strategy, inspire trust, and coach potential. So we look at another source. This is an online resource. It's also a very good resource for content regarding leadership. It's referred to as 1000ventures.com. According to them, there are 12 roles of a leader, which are identified and grouped in some 3 categories. So the first role of a leader, according to this source, is visioning and leading the way. So visioning, what am I able to see? What are you seeing? And how do you lead the way towards moving towards what you're able to see? So create an inspiring vision, shared and shared values. Then lead the change. You lead the change, lead by example, and then demonstrate confidence. So visioning, and also leading the way. That is one other role. Secondly is empowering and energizing. So you need to empower the team. You remember we've talked about previous slide, coach potential, coaching the potential of your team members. So inspire and energize people, empower the team, communicate openly and listen, support, and also help. Adopt what we call a 360 feedback approach, where you're able to get feedback from all the 4 sides, the 4 perspectives. So, and then the other role, the third role, is encouraging teamwork. So from this source, we are able to identify three roles of a leader. In the other previous slides, we're able to identify 4 roles of a leader. And then we'll also be able just to converge these roles of a leader by looking at what Franklin Covey talks about and also what 1000ventures.com talks about. So we can marry the two. Like create vision is similar to visioning and also leading the way. Executing strategy is also part of the visioning. Inspire trust, we can marry it with encouraging teamwork and also building the team. Coach potential is the same as empowering and energizing. So from this, you're able to maybe to filter a few and just even be able to develop your own roles based on whatever we have been able to analyze. But there are those basics or those underlying the minimum roles that are very important when it comes to vision, casting, or leading or undertaking your roles. So the categories, the 3 categories that I've shared have also been subcategorized, like creating an inspiring visioning. This is what we refer to as envisioning. There are 3 other activities that are involved in this. We've mentioned that the vision has to be inspiring. Yeah, it has been an inspiring vision that will make people feel the need to be able to walk the journey. Yeah, so remember the reference, we've been referring to the story of the children of Israel, shifting from the journey of moving from Egypt to Canaan. So the first thing was you analyze the current situation. How is the current situation? How does it look like? And what is the new destination? So the new destination really looks more inspiring, and it helps people to be able to engage in terms of walking with you towards the new destination. So the issue here is creating an inspiring vision, and then some shared values so that you're able to check your team to make sure that you are all converging and you are being guided by some common value, and then let the visions or the goals be able to stretch the team. Then Secondly, manage change strategically. This change management, if you remember, in the lesson two, we talked about leadership gap. And one of the gap that was identified is change management. There will always be resistance in one way or another, because people are used to where they are. So the moment you want to lead them to a new destination, there is that hesitation in terms of comfort and some discomfort as they embark towards the new destination. So when you're dealing with envisioning and leading the way, the other particular area that you need to take care of is manage change strategically. Look at strategies on how to overcome resistance and also lead the change. And then 3, lead by example. Practice what you preach, set an example, and share risks or hardships. It's good also sometimes to highlight some of the risks that are anticipated. Yeah, in the corporate world, they're very good in this. They analyze the risks so that you're able to see which mitigations you need to put in place, and then demonstrate confidence, win respect and trust without courting popularity. So I think the issue of confidence, you are championing the way. Look at Moses going back to Egypt. I think how he conveyed the message was very important to be able to win these people to embark in the journey. Now, the second, within the same, as you create an inspiring vision and as you lead by example, remember Proverbs 29:18. Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. Another version says, where there is no prophetic vision, the people cast off restraint. Where there is no vision, the people are uncontrolled. So one of the critical challenges that we are facing currently is this issue of vision, visionary leadership. Visionary leadership is a huge gap in this area. Remember, management versus leadership. There are many people who are in leadership, but in real sense, they are offering management practices, or they are managers, which is a good role. But if we are to stretch further, then we really need to make sure that these qualities of leadership, or the qualities of a leader, or the roles of a leader, are taken into consideration. Either you are leading as a manager or as a leader, because there are those who are able to undertake the two roles. So where there's no vision, the people perish. And most of the challenges that we are encountering today, we are able to link a number of them to this crisis of visionary leadership. Okay, so if we having cases where people are being wild in a way, people are becoming uncontrollable, it means there is something is missing that is able to align us to a common point of convergence. The very essence of leadership is that you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision. It is got to be a vision you articulate clearly and also persuasively. Okay, that is one of the quotes. And then the task of a leader is to get his people from where they are to where they have not been, to where they have not been. So vision casting, we're taking people from where they have been, where they are, we're showing them the benefits of moving to the new destination. So the other role of a leader is empower, inspire, and also energize the people. Empower the people, because you need people who are able to deliver. They're able to deliver. If the axe is dull, then more strength is needed. But if you need to achieve more results, then you need to sharpen the axe. And sharpening the axe here, we are referring to empowering the people. So in empowering the people, you need to create a positive work environment. Yeah. Be open to ideas and have faith in the creativity of others. Then communicate openly and honestly. Give clear guidelines and set clear expectations. And then empathize. Be willing to discuss and solve problems and listen with understanding to support and to be able to help. So these are some of the issues that are very important when it comes to issues of empowering the team, inspiring the team, and also energizing the team. Remember, you as the leader, you are the catalyst. You are the catalyst. Me as the leader, I am the catalyst. And I should be able to, as we have been saying, have my head in the cloud, but my feet on the ground. So I should be able to keep on growing, probably at a faster rate, for me to be able to keep at pace and to keep on having something that I can be able to share with the team as I lead them. And then build and lead a team. So when you are creating a vision or when you are casting a vision, there are different approaches that you can be able to use. One of the approach is team approach. The team approach. Yeah, so you're able to ask probably with a trusted and the team members that you trust and you feel you can be able to envision together. You're able to embark in a discussion in terms of where you feel God is leading you or where you all see yourself in the future. Where do you see yourself in the future? And then from that, you're able to work together and create that vision together. So team approach, facilitate cooperation, where possible, involve everyone, trust your team, and also rely on their judgment. Then bring out the best in your people, have common touch with them, and coach and provide feedback. Permit group decisions where necessary, help your team to reach better decisions. Sometimes decisions doesn't mean that it is yours or theirs. It can end up becoming a better combination of decisions or a better combination of perspectives. And then you are able to come up with a common agreement. And then monitor progress. But most importantly, do not micromanage. Do not micromanage. Lead your team, avoid close supervision, do not overboss, do not dictate, lead team through self-assessment. So I think it's good to monitor progress, but also to create that space where the team members are able to actively think through, creatively, so that they can be able to come up with their own new approaches in terms of how to build and enhance the team. So in summary, the role of every leader, one is vision formation or vision casting. If I summarize what you've gone through, so vision formation or vision casting, that is one critical role of a leader. And maybe I need to be asking ourselves some of these questions. Where am I in terms of this, in this roadmap? So, and I said vision formation can be team approach. Team approach, you're doing it together. Or there's another one we call Sinai approach, where you just come, you've connected to the vision, probably prayerfully, and you come and share the vision to the team. Yeah, so both of them have their own advantages and also disadvantages, but both of them are applicable. Then from vision formation or vision casting, we get into vision planning. So this is where you need to have a roadmap and a detailed action plan, clear objectives on how you're going to embark, and also issues of team formation, whatever we have discussed. And then there is vision communication or declaration. Yeah, so from engaging, from formation, planning, then you need to now communicate. You are communicating with both the internal stakeholders, if it's an organization, and also external stakeholders or partners. And then vision execution. Yeah, now you start following the roadmap, and you start implementing the roadmap. And then vision tracking and monitoring. It's very, very important to keep on tracking progress and tracking in terms of implementation schedule. Where are you? Are you on time? Are you achieving whatever results you intended to achieve? So you keep on monitoring and tracking. You can adopt any particular tool that is favorable. And then there is the vision review or vision reformation. Yeah, as you track, as you monitor, you might identify areas of improvement. And you keep on factoring those areas of improvement, and then you readjust or you review your vision, and you're able to relaunch the vision once again. Okay, so as a leader, there are different trajectory of leadership in terms of our role as leaders. And the first trajectory of leadership, which is the most important, is self-leadership. So the first role of me as a leader is self-leadership. And then as a leader, you can lead upward. Yeah, you might be in an organization, but there are senior people who you are also leading in terms of probably your area of specialization. So you can have an upward leadership. You can also have a downward leadership. Maybe there are people who are supporting you. You are leading that team also. And then there is also the lateral leadership, where you are leading your peers, or maybe your staff members. You are at the same level, but you are offering leadership at different periods, at different seasons, or maybe at different, when there is a particular area that you are the expert in, or you are required to offer leadership. So in brief, I will say leaders cast vision, inspire trust and hope, influence, and impact positive change. Impact positive change. So inspirational leaders plan with the head, but lead with the heart. As an inspirational leader, as a global leader, you plan with the head, but you lead with the heart. And such leaders, they appeal to people's hearts more than their minds. They influence through servant heart leadership. So effective leaders know that you first have to touch people's hearts before you ask them for a hand. That is the law of connection by John C. Maxwell. Yeah, John C. Maxwell says, effective leaders, they know that you first have to touch people's hearts before you ask them for a hand, because the hand will respond to the heart. And that is the law of connection. So as we cast the vision, I think the intention is to really get into the hearts of the people, to let the people resonate with what you are conveying, resonate with what you are saying, and be able to walk the journey with you. Okay, so what's our leadership challenge for lesson 9? Leadership challenge, page 49. Page 49. Page 49. As a leader, what leadership roles are you playing to influence positive change in the society and to create a better world? I think just take some time to evaluate. We have discussed the different roles of a leader. And look at all these roles that we have mentioned in today's session. And undertake your own self-analysis or even organizational analysis to be able to identify, are these roles all part and parcel of your leadership? You might not play all of them. You might not be undertaking all the roles, but maybe as an overall leader, you might need to see, are they and are they factored in? Are they taken care of in your team by your team members? So I think just do your own analysis, go back and look at the roles of a leader, look at where you are, look at the areas probably you feel you need to strengthen more. Sometimes you might be leading and you realize you have been missing out something. You've been missing out. There was no that linkage. There are times we lead and maybe you realize you just led from the very general information, but now maybe there's a more structured way that you can be able to analyze your leadership. So take your time to analyze this, and hopefully you'll be able to come up with some strategies on how to improve on some particular areas. Otherwise, that brings us to the end of lesson 9. Brings us to the end of lesson 9. And now I want us to just take a minute, 1 minute break. 1 minute break. And then we'll be able to move on to lesson 10. Okay, so I can see we are now, a number of us are there. I requested you to have a paper, just a single sheet. It might be from your notebook or from an A4 paper. So I'll give you a minute just to have that paper with you, either from a notebook, just a blank one. And then I'll request that we also put our videos on, if you can. If you can, I'll request you put your video on. But first, get the paper with you. Okay, Pastor Felix, welcome. I see you struggled until you were able to connect. Welcome. Pastor Abel from Zimbabwe, we're so pleased to have you on board today. Welcome. In Kenya, we say karibu sana.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
So we want to have a simple icebreaker. And this icebreaker, I just request you to have a paper, just a simple paper, either from your notebook, a plain paper. Yeah, all of us just get a paper. Let me just look for a paper, a plain one. And then let your video be on. So let me give you 1 minute just to do that. Okay, so Lillian, I saw you had put your video on. Geoffrey, I don't know if you're able to put your video on. If you are able, that will be good. If you are unable, sometimes I know there are people who join class, maybe as you drive or something. So we'll just request those who can be able to do so. Now, we're going to do a very simple icebreaker. And You will only ask questions after the icebreaker. So for now, you just undertake whatever instruction I'll be giving you. So are you can hold your paper up, all of us, just hold your paper like this. Yeah, just hold your paper. Okay. Mr. Bernard Mwangi, you have your paper with you? You're muted. Okay. So I'm just waiting for Mr. Mwangi. Welcome, Geoffrey. Good. Lillian, you have your paper set?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now let's start. The first instruction is you close your eyes. You close your eyes. And then with your eyes closed, all these other instructions, you undertake them with your eyes closed. Okay, so fold your paper in half. Okay. Okay, secondly, cut off the upper side on the left. Cut off the upper side on the left. Okay. So just continue as, just follow through as I'll be instructing you. Okay. Thirdly, I hope I'm not moving so fast. Thirdly, still your eyes closed. Fold the paper in half. Okay, fold the paper in half. Okay, now on the lower side on the right, cut on that corner. The lower side on the right. Okay. And now fold the paper in half. This time, the upper side on the right, cut off a piece there. I know now cutting has become a struggle in a way, but let's try. Okay, let's fold again in half. Fold again in half. And then the lower side on the left, cut a piece. Now this is, I know it's a big struggle, but just try. I can see the others who are using their teeth. You can use any measure. Yeah. Okay. So now still your eyes closed. Still your eyes closed. Unfold the paper. Unfold the paper. Unfold the paper. Okay, now you can open your eyes. Look at your paper and look at someone else's paper and see who has a similar design with yours. I can see for Eda, she has very nice, actually you can wear it on the, yeah. So is there someone who has a similar paper with yours? Like they look similar?
Mwende, we can't see yours. Lillian?
Okay, Lillian, I know she has an issue with power.
No, enua tu. Enua yo karatasi tutaipata. Yes, that's better.
Okay, so you can see, is there any paper that is similar to another person's? I doubt, but Pastor Abel and I think Pastor Felix, although still there is some differences. Okay. Jeff, I think I saw yours. You can lift it again. No, I think they're all unique. They're all different. Now, when we are looking at issues of leadership, what one lesson can you pick from this simple exercise? One lesson that you can pick from this. You can just unmute and share.
That we have different styles of leadership.
We have
different styles of leadership.
Yeah, different styles. Different styles. Yeah. That's Eda. Gerald.
Okay,
I think for him is okay. Someone else?
I believe that we are all unique in our leadership styles. We are different, but in our difference, we are all unique. We can't lead the same.
Yeah. We are all unique. We think differently. And also sometimes we process information differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one more, Pastor Felix.
Yeah, I think each leader is made for a different purpose.
Mm-hmm.
We think differently.
We think differently. Yeah. Maybe one more. One more. Yeah, if you note, my instruction, the first instruction was you are not allowed, if I can use that, you are not allowed to ask questions.
Yeah.
So even where you had doubt, you didn't know how to communicate.
Yes.
You didn't know how to. I know there was a lot of hesitation. If there was a chance to ask questions, you would have asked so many questions. From the very beginning, when I said fold and cut the left lower side, and there was a lot of hesitation, like which lower, which right, and again, we are all facing differently. So one was, there was no room to ask questions, which now when it comes to issues of leadership, that is an area that is very, very important because it's more about engagement. Two, this was a one-way communication. It was a one-way communication. Yeah. So it was me as the leader to you as the followers, in quotes. So you just receive and process. Yeah. Two is the issue of clarity. Was I clear in my instructions? Probably there were gaps in my instruction. Probably I didn't come out clearly in my instructions. And therefore, as you processed based on the little maybe you had understood from my instructions. Okay, so there are many, many lessons we can pick from this, and also the perspectives, how we process information. This is one thing that I've come to appreciate, that we lead different people. We lead people with different capacities. We lead people with different understanding. And therefore, you will realize sometimes we'll give a very simple instruction, Some will just get it at once. Some will require time to process. Yeah, some will require time to process. And also the personality types. You remember the personality types? There are those who are green. There are those who are red. There are those who are yellow. There are those who will quickly pick and process and they want to move on to the next. But remember, we also had the analyst. The analyst, I think, was blue. The analyst will not just process immediately. The analyst will want to go home. Yeah, we want to go home and sleep over it and process and then come back and give you a feedback. So appreciation of those different personalities, different understanding, different interpretation. That is very, very important. And it also helps us. You know, the moment you're able to understand your team, you also shield yourself from some discouragement in a way, because you understand this person, you understand how this person processes information, and also how to handle the people. So just think around about that as let me look at the chat. I think I saw someone had mentioned something. We have different strategy of leadership and methods of cutting the paper. Yeah, people are cutting the paper differently. Okay, so that was a simple icebreaker which will keep on guiding us even as we move on. We just want to embark on lesson 10, which is a little bit longer, but at least within the next few minutes, with the next 20 or 25 minutes, we should be through.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Yes, Mr.
I've been having a problem. The moment you sign off the screen,
yeah,
I disappeared. I don't know whether it is between you and me or it is within my area here. I got lost completely.
Okay, sorry.
From your end,
Okay, sorry for that. You are now okay? You can be able to hear me quite okay now?
Yeah, for now I can see you, I can hear you.
Okay.
But the moment you switch off to the groups, I disappear from my Nini.
Ah, okay, I see.
So please check whether it is a problem on your side or my side.
Okay, it's okay. So, Reverend Kahindi, you can say hi as I share my screen.
Hi, leaders. How are you? Today, I was privileged to see you as you are cutting those papers. And let me get my paper here. When we are getting the instructions and we are having a paper cut into half, or it says fold, you can fold it that way. You can fold it that way. It's both half, right? But of course, the instructions are the same. But now that people are different and they are not specific, folding from left to right, you'll find the outcome will most likely be different. And that's why there is a lesson coming in the course. Chairman, you can share because I can talk while you are sharing. That you start with the why. If those instructions had told you you needed to have some 2 eyes at the center and some corners, I think everybody will have gotten what Eda got. So sometimes it is good to know exactly why are we doing this? What do we want to achieve? Then when you have the why, have the end result, the vision. And we talked about vision here. When you have the vision of the end, it becomes easy. The how might be different, but you all will arrive at where you want to go. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Kahindi. So maybe someone can just mention the 4 roles of a leader that we have discussed, the ones that you can remember, to help as a recap for those who joined us as we were continuing. Anybody who can just try to help us remember the roles of a leader? Any that you can remember? You can just unmute and share.
create vision.
Yeah.
The other one was about coach.
Inspire trust.
Inspire trust. Create vision, inspire trust. Tuendelee, we continue.
There was something about coach.
Coach potential.
Potential. Yeah.
Yeah, potential.
Execute strategy.
Execute strategy. Yeah. So basically, those are the four most important. But at the end, I did a summary of vision formation, vision planning, vision communication, vision execution, vision review, and vision tracking, and then vision review, vision reformation, and then you keep on revolving around that. Okay. So now we are looking at redefining leadership. So we are going to take a journey. We're going to take a journey of defining leadership. All of us, we have a definition of leadership. Either you have learned, you have read, or you have created your own definition of leadership according to how you understand leadership. So we look at different sources, we look at different leaders, how they think about leadership, and then we group them into some key elements that anytime you're talking about leadership, this is something that needs to come out clearly in terms of defining leadership or you executing leadership. Okay, so again, filter through and share on the chat as we continue. So lesson 10, redefining leadership. Who would you be willing to follow? Who we are talking about, a leader. If you are to choose one leader to follow, you have to choose a leader that you will point out and say, I will want to follow this leader. This is the kind of a leader that I will want to lead me or to follow. Who would that leader be in terms of one quality of a leader that you can be willing to follow? Just one quality of a leader that you can be willing to follow or you are willing to follow. And I think this one we can mention maybe all of us because we are not many. Just one quality of a leader that you would be willing to follow. Eda, you're always next to my screen. So I'll start from there. Just one quality of a leader that will be willing to follow. And then I'll get to Mr. Mwangi and then Pastor Abel. One quality.
A leader who is available.
A leader?
Who is available and visionary.
Available.
And visionary.
Available and visionary. So you've given us two, available and visionary. Thank you so much, Eda. Mr. Mwangi, Bernard, can you give us one quality or two?
One who can inspire and build trust.
One who can inspire and build trust. So you're taking us to the previous lesson, the roles of a leader who can inspire. Pastor Abel. Pastor Abel.
One who is trustworthy and one who can inspire others. Somebody that people can follow.
One who can inspire and one who is trustworthy.
Of integrity, yes.
Integrity, very important. Pastor Felix.
One who is focused.
One who is focused. Very good. Mr. Geoffrey. Mr. Geoffrey and Jared.
One who is focused.
One who is focused. Thank you, Mr. Geoffrey. Jared, are you able to hear me, Jared? Okay, I think all, okay, I can see Jared has unmuted.
Yes, yes.
So one quality of a leader that
one who is inspirational, inspirational, and an influencer.
Inspirational.
Who is able to influence us.
Okay. Inspirational. Yeah, thank you, Gerald. Inspirational and also influential. Yeah, so that's a list that will recur even from our definition as we look. Yes, I think, let me unmute. Okay, so the objective for this lesson, just to take a journey, look at different leaders and others to identify what are some of the key elements or common elements of successful leaders. And then we have grouped them into some categories. The first one, when we are defining leadership, the first aspect or the first grouping, we look at leadership being first personal, then public. Yeah, leadership is first personal, then public. Been talking about self-leadership from the beginning, and even in my diagram, when you're talking about the trajectory of leadership, leading upward, leading downward, lateral leadership, at the center is self-leadership. And this is the one that fits into all the others. So if there is a problem with the self-leadership, then it impacts on all the other forms of leadership. So leadership is first personal. This is now the definitions of different definitions of leadership. It's first personal, then public, personal discovery, the issues of awareness, and then development, discovering, developing, and tapping into your potential, either giftings, natural ability, or talent. And there are some others who have spoken or have written about this. And one of them is Professor Dr. Mohammed. Leadership is a function of knowing yourself. That's why we are saying it's first personal. Having a vision that is well communicated, building trust among colleagues, and taking effective action to realize your own potential or your own leadership potential. So you look at one other observation I want you to take note of is the roles of a leader. They are now coming out in the definition. But here we are looking at leadership is first personal, then public. And according to this definition, leadership is a function of, first of all, knowing, understanding yourself, knowing your capacity, knowing what you have, and then having a vision from whatever you have been able to discover from within you, building it into a bigger vision or in a bigger scope. So the most effective way to lead is to lead from within. The most effective way to lead is to lead from within. That is another definition of leadership in terms of personal leadership, a sense of purpose. And Warren Bennis has written quite a lot on leadership. And he says that no leader sets out to be a leader. People set out to live their lives, expressing themselves fully. That's self-awareness. That is personal lifestyle or living, being authentic, being yourself. When that expression is of value, they become leaders. If your own personal expression becomes or adds value to others, then others, you are able to influence others, you become a leader. So the point is not to become a leader, the point is to become yourself, to use yourself completely, all your skills, gifts, and energies in order to make your vision manifest. You must withhold nothing. You must be in sum, become the person you started out to be and to enjoy the process of becoming. First, personal, then public. Second category of definitions of leadership. Leadership is servanthood. That is a natural consciousness that one is obliged to serve and to serve first. So it's about servanthood, A few perspectives on servanthood. One is Robert Greenleaf, and he said that the servant leader is servant first. It begins with a natural feeling that one wants to serve and to serve first. Then conscious choice brings one to aspire to lead. That person is sharply different from one who is leader first. So here, for a servant leader, or when you're talking about servanthood, you are walking out to lead. You are walking out to serve. You are walking out to serve, and it's through the service that ushers you into the position of leadership. J.F. Kennedy, very, very important quote. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. It's about servanthood. And as you serve, as you identify where you can serve, then you are able to walk into a position of leadership. The second one is my own there. Ask not what others can do for you. Ask what you can do for others. Thirdly, leadership is a lifestyle. Leadership is everyone's daily business. It's a lifestyle. And everyone can lead because everyone can serve. It's through the service that we are able to offer leadership. So leadership is everyone's business and is a highly learnable skill. It is the person, not the title, that creates real leaders. Real leaders actually add value to the title or to the position. Leadership permits or infuses a leader's lifestyle and is manifested in the actions, beliefs, values, and attitudes of a leader. So it's purely embedded in a leader's life. So the life that we live always displays the kind of a leader that we are. Fourthly, leadership is coaching, positioning, and empowering others to function better and maximize impact. So as a leader, then there is that element of coaching. There are different styles of leadership, and coaching is a style of leadership, but it's also an ingredient when we are discussing or we are talking about issues of leadership or a leader. Positioning and empowering others to function better and maximize impact. Yeah, so coaching leadership style. A leader is directly involved in the development of their people, seeking to advance their personal and also professional growth. So a coaching leader will help people build on their strength, because a coach will help you focus on your strength and probably be able to also help you on how to recognize the weaknesses and improve on their skills, maybe manage the weaknesses. But the most important focus for any coach, they're able to see the potential. They're able to help you tap into the potential. So a good leader or good leaders position themselves. Great leaders position others, but ultimate leaders empower others. They position and they empower others. So great leaders do not set out to be leaders. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role, always about the goal. Before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. But the moment you become a leader, success is all about growing others. And as a leader, we are focusing on how do we grow the people that we are leading? How do we empower them? How do we compound in terms of leaders around us? Okay, so before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. But when you become a leader, then you flip. Success is about growing others. That is Jack Welch. Nelson Mandela, as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. You're able to coach others, either consciously or unconsciously. You're able to help them to light their own light. Coaching, still we are talking about leadership, is a privilege to better the lives of others. It's not an opportunity to satisfy personal greed. That's from our own former president, Mwai Kibaki. He said, leadership is a privilege to better the lives of others. It's not an opportunity to satisfy personal greed. And I think this is something that is very important, especially during this period, especially here in Kenya. I know we're getting into the election mood, and there's a lot of hype in the environment. And I think one of the messages that needs to come out clear is this, just to re-echo what the former president said, that leadership is a privilege. Yeah, and it's a privilege to better the lives of others. So leadership is not about making others better. Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that your impact lasts in your absence. So a leader becomes great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. What makes a leader great is their ability to be able to empower other people. Okay, so coaching, we're still talking about the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things, but is that person or that leader who is able to help others make great, become great. And leadership is unlocking people's potential to become better. As we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. That is Bill Gates. So there are quite a lot of perspective, especially when it comes to coaching potential. Leadership is about three things: to listen, to inspire, and to empower. To listen, to inspire, and to empower. And leadership is the ability to recognize the special abilities and limitation of others, combined with the capacity to set each other or each one into the job where he or she can be able to do best. So this is all about coaching. It's about coaching. Now, the fifth perspective, when you look at the definition of leadership, there is the first I. We talked about the 6 I's of a leader and the 1 T. And the one of the I's that we talked about is influence. Leadership is influence. And we influence through becoming inspirational, through passion that is anchored on a vision. Okay, so some perspective on issues of influence. So leadership is having a vision, sharing that vision, and inspiring others to support your vision while creating their own. A very, very important definition there by Mindy. And a man without a vision for his future will always return to his past. So if nothing is there to pull you ahead, then probably you'll be pulled by the past, by the life that you have already lived, or even you can also be restrained by the present environment. So a vision will always help her to be able to move forward and influence you and the team to be able to move forward. So leadership is influence. And there's another definition here, focusing on issues of influence by Stan Kimar. Effective leadership is providing the vision and the motivation to a team so they work together toward the same goal. And then understanding the talents and temperaments of each individual and effectively motivating each person to contribute individually their best toward achieving their goal. Influence, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. You are a leader. That is John Quincy Adams. This was a former president of US. And he said regarding influence, that if your actions inspire others to dream more, to learn more, to do more, and become more, you are a leader. He said, if you stick close to a true leader, you will always feel inspired. You will always feel you can do more. You will feel the environment is conducive for you to be able to dream more. He's able to influence you positively. Miles Monroe, leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, motivated by a passion, generated by a vision, produced by a conviction, ignited by a purpose. A long definition, but with very, very important components there in regards to leadership. So you influence by inspiration, passion, vision, conviction, and also a sense of purpose. So a leader is the one who sees more than others see, who sees further than others see, and who sees before others see. That is a leader who is inspirational. So leadership is a privilege to serve and mentor more leaders. The function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not more followers. And before you are a leader, I think I mentioned this, success is all about yourself, but when you become a leader, you have the privilege to be able to grow others. And the function of leadership is to produce more leaders. And then a leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and is also able to show the way. So it's a privilege. In simple terms, we're saying, well, if I am a leader, I count it as a privilege to be able to nurture more people into the area of leadership. And then 7, leadership is becoming your best at your craft. Becoming a leader can also be attributed to becoming the best at your craft. This, we can emphasize this by this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, here lived a great sweeper who did his job very well. Yeah. So I think the question here is, wherever I am as a leader, am I becoming the best at my craft? Can this sentiment be mentioned about my legacy? That here lived a great leader in whatever line of leadership that you are offering. In this regard, this was a sweeper. Here lived a great sweeper. So the issue is not really what you are doing, but how you are able to do whatever you are doing. Dr. Griffin, the former director of the Starehe Boys Center, now deceased, if you are given a coffee cup to wash, wash it better than it has ever been washed. So becoming the best at the mastery, or even at the role. Number 8, leadership is becoming agent of hope. Napoleon, he said that a leader is a dealer in hope. During COVID, this was a very, very important message. And even now, it still remains a very important message, because when people lose hope, then they have nothing else to hold on to. And leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves. So positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals. Number 9, leadership is issues of character. I think there are quite a lot. I'll just mention a few. Successful leadership is not about becoming tough or soft, sensitive or assertive, but about a set of attributes. And the most important attribute is character. So character is like the foundation upon which one must build to win respect. That is according to Samson. And then no man can climb beyond the limitation of his or her own character. And good character is more to be praised than outstanding talent. Yeah, so what secures leadership, or what secures even competency? It is the character. Okay, so I think let me just move on to a few common elements. What are some of the common elements that we can observe from this definition? One, clearly we can see the issue of self-awareness is very important, and that is why from the beginning of this program, we started from that angle of self-awareness. So knowing and understanding yourself, and also personal development, these are key elements in the definition of leadership, and also very important ingredient for every leader. And then vision and purpose, establishing a clear vision and purpose. And then influence through inspiration, not manipulation. Inspiration through passionate commitment to a vision and purpose. Your passion is able to become a channel of inspiration. And then issues of effective communication to elicit willing collaboration or support. Then coaching deploys potential and giftings. There are issues of character. Leadership is founded on strong character. There are issues of coordinating and balancing the conflicting interests of all members or stakeholders. You're able to be an ambidextrous leader. Yeah. So leadership development process, if you look at from those common elements, there's a way they flow. So we flow from self-knowledge, self-awareness, we connect to a purpose in life, the why, you have a cause, you have a purpose, you feel you are important in terms of I'm here for a reason. Yeah, and then you position, and you also have an obligation to fulfill. And then from that obligation, you're able to capture a vision, conceive a vision, you forecast the future, you have an end in mind, which ignites a passion. Yeah, so look at this, stages. So the vision ignites a passion. A person who has captured the vision is a passion, is full of passion, is passionate, is inspirational. Yeah, and then we move on to, you are able to inspire others. So you become passionate, then you inspire others, and you're able to motivate them. And then from there, you influence others to pursue common vision as they also build their own. So this is like a systematic leadership development process in terms of how you flow from awareness all the way to influence. Because remember, the key word here is influence, but now it moves from the systematic steps. Now I'll finish by just mentioning something on transformational leadership. As we look at the definition of leadership, I think it's important also to understand the understanding or the definition of transformational leadership and what it entails. So it's the leader's ability to move followers beyond the immediate self-interest. How do you do that as a leader? As a transformational leader, you are moving people, you are moving your team beyond their immediate self-interest through idealized influence, that is charisma or even purpose or even role model. Through two is inspirational motivation. You're able to inspire others. Three is individualized consideration. You are people-driven, genuine concern for the needs of followers. And then intellectual stimulation. You're able to stimulate innovation, challenge followers to be more innovative and more creative. So transformational leaders are influential, they are charismatic, they are confident, they are intelligent, they are self-driven, and they're also insightful. So just, I'll not dwell so much on this, but I just wanted us to have just a view of a transformational leader and how they're able to influence or lead people beyond immediate self-interest or beyond where they are to where the leader or the team ought to be through the four factors there. And then the other leadership, which is very important when you're looking at the definition of leadership, is strategic leadership. And this is the ability of the top level leaders or managers to determine the future course of action and direction of the organization and motivate others to make efforts in that direction. So you look at this, this pyramid, you will see at the base we have the execution, which is done by the operational team. And then there is the procedure, which is done by the tactical team. And then the policy at the strategic level. So for the strategic leadership, they focus more on the future of the organization and also the direction. And they motivate others to make efforts towards that direction. So they provide direction, like purpose, vision for the whole organization. They get strategy and policy right, maybe through strategic thinking. They are also able to organize resources, release the corporate spirit, energize, and also build collaboration, and most importantly, they also look at succession planning. So in conclusion, I want to say this, from our own working definition of leadership in this program, been focusing on this definition that we developed through our engagement in the class, that leadership is influence through inspiration by becoming your authentic self to maximize your potential and serve your purpose to positively impact humanity. You can add there, for the glory of God. So leadership is authenticated by service, and greatness is a product of servanthood. Greatness is a product of servanthood. Okay. So I just urge you to still interrogate these definitions more, and try also to interrogate your leadership more. Look at the areas that you feel probably you need to beef up, the areas you feel you need to enhance more, and please take the necessary action so that as we become informed, we are also experiencing transformation in our lives. Otherwise, our leadership challenge for lesson 10 is on page 58. Page 58. Our leadership challenge, page 58. So in this lesson, we identified some common elements in the definition of leadership. Identify elements you require to advance as you continuously improve your skills and knowledge. You experience personal growth and transformation. So from the elements that we have discussed, identify elements you require to advance. Yeah, elements you require maybe to focus more and grow more in terms of knowledge, in terms of skills, or also in terms of experience. And also identify areas you can also probably pass to others by teaching or by training. So that brings us to the end of lesson 10. I know it has been quite a marathon in a way, but I'm hopeful that you have all been able to have a few takeaway, so that you can be able to continue becoming better as we continue learning together. Otherwise, we still moving on with the program quite well. We are still on schedule. In the beginning, I shared the schedule for the remaining period, which I'll post on the chat, so that you can be able to know. We are projecting to finish by 30th of March. Yeah. Now, from today, we are slotting you into groups. We're slotting you into groups because we'll now embark on a group project. So from the next Tuesday, we'll start discussing about your project. Okay. And just in 1 minute or so, let me give you the expectation on the group projects. So the group project, this is the essence of the group project. So you're looking at either an individual potential, you're looking at a team potential, you're looking at your strength, the ability, the gift, or the capacity that you possess either as a team or as an individual. For the project, we normally encourage the team members that you can focus either an area of one of the team members, because ideally we are supposed to do this for each and every person. All of us are supposed to engage in this team project, focusing on your own proposal in terms of maybe your life plan, or an area that you may want to meet, a need that you may want to meet as an individual. But since it's a team, then we are not able to do at the individual level. So what we do, you can identify share ideas and then pick one of the ideas. But the essence, the idea behind this is that you have a potential, or one of the team members has a potential, which you feel it can meet a need within our environment. There's a challenge, there's an opportunity that you want to meet. You want to address a challenge, or you want to take the opportunity that is offered within your environment. So this is the basic understanding of the project. So what do I have, and who needs it, and how do I offer it? Okay. So as we walk towards this, you will have a background, giving a brief historical background on the area that you have picked, a problem statement, or even a problem statement can address a problem, or can also be addressing an opportunity. And then there's the motivation. Why are you engaging in this topic? What inspired you to engage in this topic? And then objectives. What specific objectives are you going to meet? Methodology, how are you going to meet it, the objectives, and then a budget and an action plan. And then we'll have a conclusion and recommendations. But for now, the most important discussion that we'll be having between the groups, immediately we put you into the groups from this point forward, the first will be to identify the topic. To identify the topic, and also maybe to identify the objectives. Come up with a topic and clearly articulate the problem that you want to address, or the opportunity you want to exploit or to maximize, and then the objectives that you want to achieve. But most importantly, if you get the topic right, the others will be able to flow. So I'll also share this to be able to guide you, but otherwise the groupings are as follow. Let me just post them on the chat, but we'll also share the groupings on the, we'll post them on the chat. So team one, we have Geoffrey. We have Mr. Mwangi, and then we have Lillian. Okay, and then team two, we have Gerald, of Pastor Felix, and we have Eda. Are we okay?
Again, it's raining, heavily raining here.
Okay, so are you able to see? Are you able to see the chat?
No, it's not there in the screen.
Okay, so team one, I'll still share on the chat, but team one, we have Geoffrey, Bernard, and Lillian. Team two, we have Gerald. Pastor Felix, you are in team two.
Yes.
With Gerald and Eda.
Eda.
Yeah. Okay, but I'll still post this on the chat, including the contacts, so that you can be able to get it in touch. Pastor Abel will also fall in team two. Team two. Just indicate that. Okay, so I'll post this on the chat so that you can start engaging from this point. Okay, so I think we can stop there for today. I think it has been a marathon, but we're doing quite well. We are still on track. So we can pause there. I'll just hand over to Reverend Kahindi, just to wrap up and conclude.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Pastor Abel is back. Pastor Abel, you are in team two of the project proposal. For those of you who are not seeing the chat, normally you have to go down there. You'll see there's participants and then there is chat. When you touch that and it comes up on the screen. When you touch it, it can't show. Quickly going through the chat, are there any take homes that people are saying? Few. Like somebody says leadership is influence, the other one says self-discovery. Leadership is self-discovery. Then people don't want to write on the chat. They don't want to write in the chat. I think it's because they want to be told to unmute. Let me tell you this story as we close. We had this leader in the offices when we go for meetings and trainings, and the leader is there. When we are taking a break, he says, "You come at this time, and whoever comes late will dance and sing for us in his mother tongue." And of course, many people don't want to dance and sing in their mother tongue, or they can't. One day, we all settled in there. And then when the session was beginning, somebody came in late majestically. And was told, "Oh, here we have a culprit, he's going to dance for us." And the guy quickly took off his tie, tied it on the head, took off his coat and tied it on the waist, and he began, and he sang and danced his heart out. We realized he was not late. He wanted that opportunity. So maybe you people are not challenged, or you don't have, it's not that we don't have take-homes, but we just want to unmute. Is that so? Okay, Gerald, thank you very much for this. Influence through inspiration. That's what spoke to him.